I think that the mobile phone has allowed everybody to develop a literacy for what a good image looks like, right? We have the largest install base of potential filmmakers and storytellers, and we probably need to do a better job of educating them on how they can take the skills that they already are learning through those phones and applying them to more advanced tools. FujiFilm is a storytelling brand that has been in the imaging world for over 90 years. We make cameras, lenses. We've got a rich history in film, broadcast, cinema, and I think the heritage and legacy and the history that we have in those spaces really makes us a very unique brand when it comes to anything involving media and entertainment.
Let's put our camera hat on for most of this conversation, just to keep things focused. What distinguishes Fujifilm cameras from the rest?
Well, I'd say two things. First thing is our color science. We are really known for just how the image naturally comes out of the camera. Second thing is our film simulations. We are the only company that makes film, has digital cameras, and has the ability to take those films and make film simulations inside of those cameras.
Filmmakers are always looking to create projects that have a different look, a different feel to enhance their story. Now, the cameras that you make are mostly still. Can I use them for video as well?
Yes, of course you can. I think the cameras that people are using the most right now are GFX 102 and XH2S. XH2S is in our X series line. APS-C, I think the closest approximation would be like Super 35. Very compact, very high performing. It has an open gate 6.2K video recording function. And then we also, with respect to GFX 102, we have the ability to record full width on a 44 by 33 millimeter sensor, which is going to be the third largest sensor in the world when it comes to 16 by 9 4K video.
One of the challenges we used to have using what I call a DSLR camera for video is that the sensor would overheat after a little bit of time. Do we have to worry about that problem with yours?
Well, you know, our cameras are optimized for long-form operation, right? And so I think we can, clip length is at least well over 30 minutes, and we also have fans and other accessories that allow us to vet heat. I think, given normal operation, normal conditions, we don't see a lot of overheating. I think if you were to be outside in the sun, if you didn't really protect the camera and shade it like any normal production, you'd probably experience some performance loss at that point.
Victor, I was concerned about something. I want to make sure I'm clear. For instance, I do a live 4-hour stream. I take the HDMI output of the camera, stream it live. Mm-hmm. Will the sensor overheat?
No. You can take the HDMI and route it through your live stream, and it'll run as long as you have power.
NAB is all about that which is new and that which is coming. What have you got that's new at the show?
So we announced development for a new Fujinon lens called LA30. That lens is pretty exciting because it brings a new approach to the lenses that we're bringing to the broadcast space. I think as technology has evolved, there have been other needs that have been placed on our lenses, and I think that with this specific lens, specifically the ability to be used in robotics, the ability to have potential autofocus capability, the ability to be compact and lightweight, and the fact that it is a B4 mount lens. You know, I think a lot of our folks who have seen that lens here at the show are really excited to see what's going to have to offer. I think on the camera side, we about 6 months ago announced that we were developing our first ever cinema camera. And the cinema camera is pretty unique because it's built off of the GFX 102 sensor and processor, but that camera is going to be really exciting because it will also come at a 4x3 open gate ability to record in. And so I think there's a lot of folks who see that we have a history in film, see that we have a history in cinema optics, and are very excited in what that can do in creating a cinema camera for filmmakers to use.
I've been looking forward to talking to you since the last time we spoke together because I have this consuming question. The 800-pound gorilla in camera space are mobile phones. How do you successfully market your devices against people that are using a mobile phone? Why should they step up to something different?
Well, I think that it's very short-sighted to look at a smartphone or a mobile phone as a competitive device. I think that we now live in a world where the mobile phone is something that people use in addition to the cameras and other tools that they use to acquire images. I think that the mobile phone has allowed everybody to develop a literacy for what a good image looks like, right? And when you really think about it, once you use your phone for a while, you're going to want to step up in the level of quality. And storytelling visually requires the ability to control the image a bit, the ability to have softer focus roll off, the ability to control your highlight, the ability to maybe want to jump into post and tune the image a little bit. And I think as our users continue to see even those advancements in mobile technology, there will always be a subset of those users that are going to want lens-based and interchangeable lens and larger sensors and more flexibility in post. And I think that interplay between the introduction of those ideas by using a smartphone and how they play out when they learn more about tuning and controlling an image for the purpose of storytelling, I think that's how you eventually look at a growing market segment of users and how you might want to approach that market and I guess talk to them, help them learn, help them understand kind of where their opportunities could be. So yeah, I don't think it is a competition. I think it is we have the largest install base of potential filmmakers and storytellers, and we probably need to do a better job of educating them on how they can take the skills that they already are learning through those phones and applying them to more advanced tools.
I was just looking in my notes and realizing you're competing against some serious companies, Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Pentax, and anybody that can put a lens on a DSLR is in the market. You've mentioned already that one of your benefits is color science. How else are you competing? And the question behind my question is, how does somebody choose which camera to buy?
I think that we compete against our competition on a variety of different fronts, right? In addition to our film simulation and color science, I think our design, the design of the cameras is second to none. They just look beautiful. They're fun to pick up. They feel good to pick up. There's a tactile component to our cameras. I think also, if you know anything about Fujifilm, then you probably have run into someone who's a part of the Fujifilm community. That in and of itself is a reason to want to pick up one of the cameras because you're almost immediately assimilated into a community of users that can recognize you got that camera, love talking to you about the cameras, love being able to talk to you what film simulations they've picked and how they've tuned them inside of the camera to get their own looks. I think that those three things are very, very simple differentiations that we bring when it comes to, what makes Fujifilm different. I think in addition to that, I do believe we've got incredible optics, we've got incredible sensors, we've got incredible cameras that suit different needs for different, are suitable for different needs and different creatives, right? Camera manufacturers all make great products. It's really important for us to do the best we can in making how we talk about storytelling and how we talk about the world at large and how we show it through our images makes them feel. I think that's important.
Every time I talk to you, I learn something new, so I'm having a good time. There are all these cameras out there. I can't afford to buy all of them. I want to buy all of them, but I can't afford to buy all of them. How do I look at one to decide if it's going to work for me? How do we make that evaluation?
Well, I think walking into your local dealer is a really important part of the process when you're trying to pick a camera. You could rent them, but I think if you are new to a system and you don't have the ability to understand the nuances between the cameras, it's kind of just like getting a bunch of packages and then trying to figure it out yourself. It could take a lot of time, and it could be very frustrating, right? Especially if you don't know a lot of the different things about cameras. So I think walking into a local dealer is always very important, because that's where you can ask questions. I think the people at the counter are always very well educated on not just our cameras, but competitive cameras. And I think they can get any new user, any new enthusiast to step in and get their hands on a camera, pick it up, and then also help them evaluate what their needs are versus kind of what the camera offers. I think that's how most people eventually find that shopping local at a local camera store is going to provide a long-term benefit to them. If they don't have a local camera store, then I think there's also vibrant communities too on Reddit, on FujiX Weekly, on FujiLove, where you can kind of talk to other Fujifilm users and find out what cameras they are using based upon the images that you like or that resonate with you. So a combination of in-person, local camera shops, or online communities can be a very wonderful way to determine how you might want to approach getting one of our cameras.
If you were to summarize in a short paragraph the key benefits that a Fuji... One last question. If you were to summarize in a short paragraph the key benefits a Fujifilm camera provides, what would they be?
Well, I think I'm going to have to take that in two parts. The first part is for X series users. Our camera system provides portability, it's compact, beautiful images, and it provides a great on-ramp for emerging creatives. For our GFX system, I think it provides professionals with a completely unique system that is not even comparable to other camera systems, because it is the large format sensor compared to your full frame sensors. And I think that's kind of the really big differentiator when you compare a GFX system with any other system from any other manufacturer. We have a 100 megapixel camera that is honestly providing the world's best image quality. We have seen the comparisons, and I think that our professional community who are using that camera for both stills and motion find that it's a wonderful tool to add to their collection of other tools in creating images.
Victor, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for your time.